Dear students, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this lecture, I will teach you the difference between electromotive force and voltage. First of all, let me draw the symbol of a battery. This is the symbol of the battery. This is the positive terminal of the battery and this is the negative terminal of the battery. Battery basically consists of multiple cells. If you connect more than one cell in series with each other, a battery is formed. If the battery is in box, if the battery is box packed, charge is saved in the battery. But if you connect a load with the battery through conducting wires, then there will be an internal disturbance which is called internal force of the battery, which will motivate electrons to flow through conducting wires from the load, which will actually push electrons to flow through conducting wires from the load. So this internal disturbance, this internal force of a battery is called electromotive force, EMF. So I am connecting a load with a battery through conducting wires. These are the conducting wires. Conducting wire can be made of copper or silver or any other metal. Now I am connecting a load to a battery. This is the load. Remember, load always consume power when it is connected in a circuit. Load always absorb power when it is connected in a circuit. Load always behave as a passive element. Positive terminal of the load is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Negative terminal of the load is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Now load is connected to the battery. Battery will supply power to the load and load will consume power from the battery. As I have said earlier, if the battery is box packed, the charge, which are negative charges, which are electrons, these charges are saved in the battery. But when you connect a load to a battery through conducting wires, then there will be an internal force of the battery which will push electrons to flow through conducting wires from the load. So the flow of free electrons is basically the flow of current. Flow of free electrons is basically the flow of current. Current will flow through the load and then it will goes into the negative terminal of the battery. Voltage and potential difference are the same concept. Voltage and potential difference are the same concept. What is potential difference? Potential difference is basically the difference between high potential and low potential. Potential difference is equal to high potential minus low potential. If I said the battery is of 10 volt, if I said the battery is of 10 volt, then 10 volt will be across the load as well. You can see the battery is of 10 volt, then 10 volt is also the voltage across the load. Why? Because load is connected to the battery. Here the potential difference of the load is 10 volt, or you can say the voltage across the load is 10 volt. Potential difference and voltage are the same terminologies, these are the same concepts. Potential difference is called voltage, voltage is called potential difference. But potential difference is the difference between high potential and low potential. If we subtract low potential from high potential, we will get potential difference. And current always flow from high potential towards low potential. This is the property of the current always flow from high potential towards low potential. Current always flow from positive terminal to the negative terminal. So here current will flow from positive terminal to the negative terminal. If the potential difference is 10 volt, then I will say the positive terminal can be at 15 volt and negative terminal can be at 5 volt. So 15 minus 5 is equal to 10. So potential difference will be 15 minus 5 is equal to 10 volt. If the positive terminal is at 18 volt and the negative terminal is at 8 volt, then 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. So high potential will be 18 volt and low potential will be 8 volt. So 18 minus 8 is equal to 10. If I say positive terminal is at 25 volt, so the negative terminal should be at 15 volt. So potential difference will be 25 volt minus 15 volt is equal to 10 volt. Positive terminal is always at the high potential and negative terminal is always at the low potential. High potential minus low potential is equal to potential difference, and voltage is always called potential difference. So voltage and potential difference are the same terminologies, but electromotive force is little bit different. In many engineering books, you will see electromotive force is taught as voltage because the unit, standard unit, SI unit of voltage, potential difference, and electromotive force is volts. Volts is the standard unit of all these quantities. But the concept of electromotive force is little bit different from voltage. And I have explained you the concept of EMF. Electromotive force is basically the internal force of the battery which motivates electrons to flow through conducting wires from the load. You can write the definition. EMF is the internal force of the battery, internal force of the battery which motivates or push electrons to flow from the load through conducting wires. This is the definition of the electromotive force. Electromotive force is the internal force of the battery which motivates electrons to flow from the load through conducting wires. And what is the definition of voltage and potential difference? Voltage and potential difference are the same concepts, and the definition is when you subtract low potential from the high potential, you will get voltage, you will get potential difference. The standard unit of voltage, potential difference, and electromotive force is volts. So the lecture ends here. Thank you.